There is a truck driver shortage. There is not a truck driver shortage. There is a... Yeah, y'all, it's getting to be an age-old argument about if there's a truck driver shortage or not in the U.S. and the supply chain clogged up because of it. Now, you got two opinions on whether there's a truck driver shortage or not, right? The media says there is, the government says there is, but some people, truck drivers mostly, say there's no truck driver shortage. They say there is a pay shortage. And I guess it would seem that if you paid truck drivers more money, then they would come to work, right? Now, I'm not sure that works though, because at Saia and all the LTL companies that I know of, they pay pretty good. Better than most parts of the industry, right? Except for some specialized niches, heavy haul, stuff like that maybe. But all in all, LTL pays really good. And so if it were true that it was a pay shortage, then we wouldn't be short of drivers, I don't think. But in fact, we are short of drivers. Last time I checked a couple weeks ago in Dallas, just in Dallas, we were short 12 line haul drivers. We use outside carriers to make up the difference, but we're short. And I'm sure all the other LTL companies are short. All the mega carriers are short. So I'm thinking there probably is a driver shortage. Now, I don't know what the stats are for how many trucks there are, how many trailers there are, compared to how many drivers there are. I bet there's more trucks and trailers available than there are drivers. And there's lots of freight, right? The supply chain is all backed up because they say they can't get enough drivers to load the trailers and pull the freight. Now, there's all sorts of other things that need to be addressed too. Parking, the way truck drivers are treated, delay time, detention, all that kind of stuff has to be addressed too. But as far as whether there's a driver shortage or not, I think there is. Now, there's a company up in Wisconsin. What they do is they provide drivers for all sorts of trucking companies on either up from a temporary basis all the way up to a permanent basis. They find truck drivers for these people. Now, this guy that owns this company up there in Wisconsin says he cannot get enough experienced truck drivers. He says they have about 150 employees, I'm guessing mostly drivers, but he could use 250. He says they miss opportunities about 100 times a week to fill truck driver positions because they just don't have the people. He said he's going to have to resort to growing his own drivers. He's training drivers, bringing them up, CDL training them, and then he's got drivers. But his problem is his insurance doesn't want any of these drivers to be out on their own unless they have 2 years experience. That sounds about right? So he's got new drivers graduating from training that don't have the experience to be out on their own. So I guess he's trying to team them up with the more experienced drivers till they can get their experience. But that still doesn't help all the opportunities that he's missing for single drivers, either temporary or permanent. Now, I actually worked for a temporary driving company one time when I was in between the Air National Guard and going back to work as a driver. They kept me busy, and back then it didn't pay much and didn't have good benefits. This guy nowadays says that he's raised his pay and benefits 40% and still cannot get experienced drivers. He also says that it would be a good thing if they if the insurance companies lighten up on the requirements for 18 to 21-year-old drivers. He says that would help a lot. He says there's a big interest in new drivers coming in. And you would think, listening to old drivers, that they're crazy, right? Because of the way the industry is. Well, there's a big interest for people wanting to come to be a truck driver and get into this industry. So tell me what you think. What's going to correct the truck driver shortage that some people says there isn't? So all that being said, it's cold out here. I'm going to get back to Dallas. Check out over here. I'll put up some videos or a playlist or something that you might be interested in. Staying on the channel and keep watching. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I appreciate it if you have. So, we'll see you later.